Meteorologist Serena Arnold here. You've got questions, I've got answers. Let's get right to this one. Is it true that New England has had the greatest degree of warming in the US? Amazing question. Excellent question. And in fact, I decided to do a little bit of outreach on this one to make sure I really got this one right. If you've been following me for a while, you have heard me mention the name Brian Britschneider before. He is a PhD climate scientist that is located in Alaska. If you follow him, especially if you used to be on Twitter or you're on Blue Sky now, which is like old Twitter was, like good and fun and positive and amazing, he's there. He is worth every follow in the entire world. So I reached out to him specifically to get his help answering. And said, hey, I had someone ask me about the most affected place by climate change. I took out the New England because that presumed that's like a hypothesis, an assumption. Can you help? And he had great feedback. And he said it's a really tough question. There's an area that's not going to get enough rain, or some places that get too much. Days of extreme heat. His bet was coastal areas will be inundated in the coming decades and require people to relocate. And I said that's totally fair, 100%. So instead I said, let's take a look at how our averages and how our normals have drifted with both temperature and precipitation. And he delivered with 30-year maps that show how temperature and precipitation have drifted over this time. So let's start with temperature. If we look at this map, we see a lot of warm colors. We see we've definitely trended warmer for a lot of locations, except right there, possibly right there around some of these Great Lakes, little tiny dots, right? The vast majority of this is red and orange. And if we look at orange, we're looking at 2.5 degrees, 3.5 degrees for red. And so you can see we've got a couple of spots of red where things have gotten a lot warmer. And we do see this orange through New England with the exception of Maine. So it has gotten warmer. Is New England the worst? No. But let's see what happens when we take into account precipitation. So same thing, anything that's these like warmer colors are stuff that has gotten drier. So we are actually seeing a lot drier through West Texas, western parts of Oklahoma, like kind of that Tornado Alley area. And we are seeing more moist to the south and east. This is a big reason as to why that Tornado Alley is shifting south and east right here. Totally not surprising at all. So these are like two of the really big shifts here. We also see the dryness out in California, seeing a little bit wetter in New England, but nothing wild crazy. So we can't definitively say over the past 30 years that New England has seen the worst of it, but there are other factors to look at. We can look at severity and frequency of storms. We can look at the sea surface type stuff, the amount of flooding that happens. New England's the tailpipe of the US. No matter where a weather system originates, whether it's the Pacific Northwest, it's Canada, it's the Gulf, it doesn't matter. Everything usually ends up exiting right around New England because of the jet stream. I can't say we're the worst when you take a look at just temperature and precipitation, but there are a lot of other factors that go into play here. We're not getting off easy, though. You can see that.